Dear students, today we will discuss about the exothermic and endothermic reactions. These are very important topic of chemical thermodynamics, and in last video we have already discussed about the law of thermodynamics, application of first law, second law of thermodynamics also. So today we will discuss about the exothermic and endothermic reaction. We are going to study about the exothermic and endothermic reactions of chapter 6 chemical thermodynamics. Exothermic reactions. Exothermic reactions. Exothermic reactions. Exothermic reactions are those types of reactions in which during chemical reactions amount of energy is released. Exothermic reactions are those types of reactions in which during chemical reaction amount of energy is released. For example, neutralization reaction of sodium hydroxide, NaOH and HCl. Neutralization reaction of NaOH and HCl is a exothermic reaction. Neutralization reaction of NaOH and HCl is a exothermic reaction. If we have taken NaOH and NaOH react with HCl, NaOH react with HCl, then NaCl and water molecules are formed. NaOH, sodium hydroxide and HCl is taken. Sodium hydroxide react with HCl, hydrochloric acid to form sodium chloride. And water molecule is released. In this reaction, change in enthalpy delta H is equal to 58.5 kilojoule. Delta H is equal to plus 58.5 kilojoule. It is a exothermic reaction. Why? Because NaOH and HCl react together to form NaCl, sodium chloride, with releasing water molecule. In this reaction, amount of energy is releasing, the value of delta H is equal to plus 58.5 kilojoule. That's why it is a exothermic reaction, because in this reaction amount of energy is released. And in such type of reactions, heat of reactant is greater than heat of product. When reactant combine together and form product, then in product side excess amount of energy is released. And to follow law of conservation of mass, we have to add released amount of energy in product side. That's why here we can apply plus sign. Delta H is equal to plus 58.5 kilojoule. So such type of reactions are exothermic reactions in which amount of energy is released. For example, if nitrogen and hydrogen molecules are taken, N2 plus H2 are taken. For example, if N2 and H2 are taken, nitrogen and hydrogen atoms are taken, N2 plus thrice H2 are taken, then this gives twice NH3. ammonia will form. Nitrogen combined with hydrogen to form ammonia. Nitrogen combined with hydrogen to form ammonia, NH3. Nitrogen combined with hydrogen to form ammonia, NH3. This reaction is also a type of exothermic reaction. It is also a type of exothermic reaction because in this reaction amount of energy is released in production. That's why it is also a type of exothermic reaction. So such type of reactions are exothermic reactions. Now we will discuss about the endothermic reactions. Endothermic reactions. Now we will discuss about the endothermic reactions. Endothermic reactions. Reactions in which amount of heat or energy is required to form product is known as a endothermic reactions. Such type of reactions in which amount of heat or energy is required, to proceed reaction or to form product, such type of reactions are known as a endothermic reactions. For example, if nitric oxide are taken, twice NO plus O2, this gives twice NO2. 2 molecule of nitric oxide is taken. This one is nitric oxide, and if nitric oxide react with oxygen molecule, then it forms 2 molecule of nitrogen dioxide. It is a endothermic reaction. Such type of reaction is endothermic reaction. In this reaction, amount of energy is required to form product nitrogen dioxide. Twice NO combined with oxygen molecule to form 2 molecules of nitrogen dioxide. It is an endothermic reaction because in this reaction amount of energy is absorbed in product side. That's why here minus sign is applied. So it is a endothermic reaction. In endothermic reactions, amount of energy is required, and such type of reactions are endothermic reactions. Now, in such type of reaction, heat of product is greater than heat of reactant is greater than product. That's why we need to apply minus sign here. So it is a endothermic reaction. Such type of reactions are endothermic reactions. Now, in next topic we will discuss about the heat of neutralization reaction. Heat of neutralization reactions. Heat of neutralization, heat of neutralization, or it is also known as the enthalpy of neutralization. Heat of neutralization, or it is also known as enthalpy of neutralization. It is also known as enthalpy of neutralization. Heat of neutralization or enthalpy of neutralization. So I have already told to you about the exothermic reaction. What are exothermic reactions? Means reactions in which amount of heat is evolved is known as a exothermic reaction. Here we are going to discuss about the heat of neutralization or enthalpy of neutralization. Enthalpy of neutralization. In enthalpy of neutralization, we will discuss about the neutralization reaction, change in energy in neutralization reactions. It is defined as the amount of energy released or absorbed when acid and bases are react together to form a type of salt. When acids and bases are combined together to form salt, then at that particular instant, amount of energy released or absorbed is known as a heat of neutralization reaction. I have already told to you, if NaOH and HCl are taken, NaOH and HCl react together, then they form NaCl plus H2O, and in this reaction 58.5 kilojoule energy is released, and that's why this reaction is known as a enthalpy of neutralization. That is known as a enthalpy of neutralization. So such type of energies in which neutralization reactions are takes place, that is known as a neutralization reaction. Now next topic we will discuss Hess law. That is very important topic. Next topic is Hess law. Hess law. We will discuss about very important thing, that is known as Hess law. Hess law. That is known as Hess law. This law was proposed by Hess, a name of scientist. Hess law. This law was proposed by Hess, a name of scientist. That's why this law is known as a Hess law. According to this law, during any thermodynamic process, if that process proceeds in one step or in several steps, then total change of enthalpies remain constant. In any thermodynamic process, if product form in one step or in several steps, then total change of enthalpy is remain constant. During thermodynamic process proceed in one step or in several steps, but total change of enthalpies remain constant. For example, let us consider about any system. If initial state of system is A, and its final state is B, then what happens? This one is the initial state, this one is initial state, and this one is the final state. This one is initial and this one is the final state. Here, if system proceed from initial state A to final state B, then change in enthalpy is delta H. But if several steps are taken to change initial state to final state of system, if system proceed from A to E, then F, and then G, etc. If system change from A to E, then enthalpy is H1, E to F H2, and F to G H3, and G to B H4. Then change in enthalpy delta H is equal to H1, H2, H3 plus H4. Delta H change in enthalpy A to B, delta H is equal to H1 plus H2 plus H3 plus H4. In this way, we can say that any system proceed in one step or in several steps, total change in enthalpies remain constant. This law is known as a Hess law. Now we will discuss about some applications of Hess law also. So if we are going to discuss about the applications of Hess law, then it is widely used to calculate bond energy. It is widely used to calculate enthalpy of neutralization, heat of summation, and it is also widely used to calculate enthalpy. So these are applications of Hess law. So this one is the Hess law. Now we will discuss about the enthalpy of fusion and enthalpy of vaporization. Enthalpy of fusion and enthalpy of vaporization. Enthalpy of fusion, enthalpy of fusion, enthalpy of fusion, and enthalpy of vaporization. Enthalpy of fusion and enthalpy of vaporization. Enthalpy of fusion is defined as the amount of enthalpy or change in enthalpy to convert 1 mole of solid substance to its corresponding liquid substance. It is change of enthalpy to convert 1 mole of solid substance to its corresponding liquid substance. That is known as a enthalpy of fusion. That is called enthalpy of fusion. If we want to convert 1 mole of solid ice to its corresponding liquid state, then that is known as a enthalpy of fusion. Now second thing is enthalpy of vaporization. Enthalpy of vaporization. So enthalpy of vaporization is change in enthalpy to convert 1 mole of liquid substance to its corresponding vapor or gaseous state. Enthalpy of vaporization is a change in enthalpy to convert 1 mole of any liquid substance to its corresponding gaseous or vapor state. So that is known as a enthalpy of vaporization.